Hello everybody, Dr. Chibi here, and I want to be playing a game called Kenshi. It is being developed by a single man. Currently it's in alpha state, so expect a lot of bugs, unfinished products, etc, etc. Click new game, and here you have several beginnings to choose from. You have Wander, which is default. Start with 1,000 cash. Then you have Freedom Seekers. You have 5 people. This is more of the base building. Retired Captain, you have no money. You have barely any clothing. You have a sword. You start off with an extra negative diplomacy with a large group of people out there, but you do have high combat stats. The survivors, it's you and your best friend. Your entire platoon's wiped out, and your friend's in very bad shape. Wandering Trader, this is you basically have a backpack full of goods, no money, and that's how you start out. The Holy Sword is you start out with a great sword, but you start out with an extra negative diplomacy towards the Holy Empire. Rock Bottom is literally that. No money, you have a stick, a bad arm, and no clothes. Then Cannibal Hunters is you start in the middle of a cannibal camp and usually get your ass kicked. Nobodies is a group of 5 nobodies, and they have basically clubs, pants, and that's it. But we're going to start out on Wanderer. And here we get to see the character creation screen. Alright, then you can change their face. Give them a different hairstyle. I'll just do this real quick. You can actually change this later. No, screw it, that's good enough. You can actually change it later by going to a plastic surgeon. Basic controls are the mouse wheel. Scroll towards you to go back, scroll forward to go towards your character. Right click to move, left click to select. And this first video is going to be kind of just getting you used to Kenshi. If you hold down the left control and move your mouse, you can kind of do a 360 pan around your character. You can use the WASD keys to actually move the camera around. And let's say if I've lost my character, I don't know where he is. Instead of zooming out and trying to find him, I can just either double tap 1, which selects the first unit, or I can just double click his image. Sorry. Another, you can interact with the world by right clicking. So I can close that door by right clicking, and I can open it. You can also right click on characters. I could use first aid on myself, but it'd be completely pointless because I'm not injured. Like right here, there's a guy or gal citizen. If you're looking to hire someone, try asking around in bars. Here is an armor shop or a clothing shop. I'm not exactly sure which. Only for the fact that they sell kind of a mishmash of both. Like there's clothing that has no defensive value, but then there's clothing that has some, and there's even some armor. So it's kind of up in the air. Oh, and this is the basic shop screen. They even have a special little auto arrange, so instead of having to play Tetris, you can just click arrange, and poof, it arranges your inventory. You can also do it for merchants. As you can see, we have a horse chopper, and sabers basically are more of a defensive weapon. You'll notice my attack bonus goes down by 4, but my defense bonus goes up by 4. Then we have cutting damage, blunt damage, blood loss, and we'll be getting into that later. And all I have otherwise is cargo pants, which offer no protection, and basic first aid kits, which we will be needing. You can press I for your inventory. Here's a weapon shop. just stop in here real quick to show you some of the variety of weapons. We have heavy weapons, you know, a club, some hackers, ring saber. To be honest, it's not really. I know I wanted to go and show you just a brief glimpse of them, but I'll go ahead and show you our character. When you start as a wanderer, you basically start at nothing. Basically, the skills that are currently implemented in the game have a number beside them and are lit up, but endurance and perception aren't in yet, so there's no description for them. Strength affects how much you can carry. Like I have a carry weight of 16. If I increase my strength by 1, it'll be 17. Toughness is how much damage you can take, and in the 0.069.2 experimental patch, toughness affects your blood. The higher your toughness, the more blood you have, and bleeding out's not exactly good for you. Then we have, ooh, what's this? We have a dust bandit. Go ahead and get in on some of this action. Where'd he go? There we have some combat. I just took a nasty slice to the chest, and you'll notice I'm losing blood. And you'll see this green text shows that we are doing damage. Oh, and red text shows we are taking it. I'm actually going to turn myself on block right now. You can actually, over here on the right, you can actually change what your character does, right? Like right now, I have chosen that I am only going to block. That, of course, means that my character will only block and will not attack. Now, this isn't very productive, mostly due to the fact that I'm not attacking at all and he's getting a whole bunch of hits in. However, I'm not taking very little to no damage. Now, if there's a second guy here, I'm going to turn off blocks so I can actually get some attacking experience. Anyway, he's down, but I actually saw a leader here I'm actually going to steal stuff from. Now, he has a better weapon than what I currently had. I'm also going to take his boots and his armor. I'm also going to take this time to explain. You can pause the game, by the way, and everything is kind of dynamically, well, the terrain isn't dynamically generated, but the battle, you know, the enemies kind of are and such. But the characters we're fighting now are called Dust Bandits. They wield sabers and are kind of like tier 2 of the bandits. But right now you can see, click on my character, I'm bleeding profusely because I've got 3 less than signs going away from my blood. If you go to 0 or below 0, you will suffer blood loss trauma, and if you go far enough, you eventually die. You know, you have your head and you have all the parts of your bodies that can be damaged. You'll notice this is red. That shows cutting damage. Now, cutting damage you can actually bandage up with the first aid kit. First, I'm going to actually stop the bleeding using the first aid kit. I'll speed this up. And now you'll see that this red is turning yellow. What that means is that I'm bandaging up the wounds I suffered, the cutting damage wounds, and now they will heal faster than if I did not. You'll also notice that my blood is slowly going up since I've stopped bleeding. And now I'm back to normal. I'm going to go ahead and loot these guys. This is actually very fortunate. Normally, bandits won't, as soon as you start, come right out and attack a town. And here's another thing of note. I am actually overweight. In real life, anyway. I'm actually overweight, so I cannot move that quickly. Now you'll see there are bandits trying to get up, but I've stolen his weapon, so he has no real defense. Unfortunately, all the guards ran to kill that guy I wasn't paying attention and I got nailed by a raider. Okay, now it looks like they're running away. I don't know. Anyway, while they're screwing around, I'm actually going to go in here and sell stuff. Or I'm going to, no, go to non-comp. You know what, screw it. This is a very awkward first video. Normally it takes me frickin' an hour to get to where I can pull a group of enemies into the city. Whereas here, in the first 10 seconds, the city comes under attack, and I'm able to flippin' hit him so hard he disappeared. I'm able, yeah, so sorry for the kind of messed up commentary and situation. This never happens. So, I'm moving slowly because I'm carrying something that's too heavy for me. Namely, so much armor and weapons. I'm actually gonna... I'll go ahead and keep that. One thing to be careful of is merchants can run out of inventory space for you to sell to. So it is a good idea to keep an eye on that. There are more merchants that you can sell to. It's just a matter of, you know, being a pain in the butt to go to those merchants and do that. So now we have an entire little loot pile that we can just... Ooh, actually, I'm going to swap these out. There, give. Like I said, we're very lucky because normally it takes forever to get any form of bandits to follow you, because the best way starting out to make money, if you don't have enough to buy trade goods and take them to another city, is to lure bandits into, oh dang, I clicked the wrong option, is to lure bandits into a city and have the guards kill them, and then you loot them and sell their stuff. Like, I only started out with 1,000 gold or money, and I'm already up to 3,700. Oh, looks like one of the dust bandits got up, and here are the guards to put them down. You can also, may notice I'm speeding up time and such. You can actually do that using the F2 through F4 keys. There is regular speed, which is F2, slightly faster speed, which is F3, and then super speed, which is F4. You can also press spacebar to pause. Why am I not moving? Oh, it's because I unselected myself. There. While I'm doing this, I'll kind of help describe. Over here on the right, you have several commands that you can issue to your selected character. Oh, see right here, I've actually run out of space to sell this specific merchant something. So I'm going to have to find another merchant to sell to. Which really isn't a problem, it's just, okay, I want that helmet. Bad thing about helmets is they do drop your... actually, why didn't I take his shoes? Oh, it's because I can't. Okay. The bad thing about helmets is they do drop your combat skills. Like this drops my combat skills by 5. This actually drops my combat speed. This does the same thing, so I'm actually attacking slower than I would be if I wasn't wearing it. However, the way armor works is it on coverage here, you'll notice excuse me, you'll notice it covers my left arm, stomach, right arm, and chest, and it has the percentage. It does so, then it also shows what percentage or damage it blocks on blunt and cut. Harpoon resistance, we'll get into that later, but don't worry, you won't find any roving bandits with harpoon guns. Those aren't in yet. So this is a bar. And here you can actually hire, there's a plastic surgeon where you can adjust your character's facial features. Then there's usually 1 to 2 people you can hire. Depending on the skills of the person, they may cost, you know, anywhere from 700 to 5,000. And a way to raise your strength is actually to overload yourself, like I've done now, by wearing heavy armor. And as I just walk around, I'm actually gaining strength by carrying all this heavy stuff. Now, a good thing to note is these wooden sandals are actually very good footwear when you are starting out. What they do is they increase your combat speed effect by 1 time, but then also they increase your athletic skills by a bit. Unlike the boots I'm wearing now, they don't provide any armor, but it's nice to be able to move a little bit faster, especially if you have to run from something. I'm probably going to go ahead and cut it here, because this is basically just going to be looting and selling, but I will be back once I'm finished.